This is the mating call of the clam.
What's
Anybody
the
wanna
clam?
fuck?
The clue?
A clam?
Oh, a clam.
A clam.
Oh, sorry.
Bivalve molecule, twat.
So they
Anybody
go.
want to fuck?
So they go like
Anybody
this.
wanna fuck?
I can't tell if this is a joke or one of your weird facts.
It's a joke, mate.
Oh. Okay.
Apart from anything else, clams don't speak English.
No, but there could be a mating thing of them, like, you know, twerking their little shells.
I suppose there could be. I'm sure you could Google mating call of the clam. Sounds like a bad country and western song, doesn't it?
But how do clams even mate? Are they not those weird animals? I can't remember the name of it, where they can just fuck themselves.
That's lawyers, isn't it? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Do clams reproduce?
God. Anyway.
Oh no, they do fuck.
Very carefully, I suppose.
Well, they don't properly fuck. They do the thing where the male clam will just come into the water, and then the female just hoovers it all up.
You know, I always wanted to be a fish, because I think fish have really got it nailed. Because fish mate for the most part they just fucking wank all over the bird's eggs.
Yeah.
You know, fish are fucking proper blokes. You know, they just jizz on their women on the fucking job. You know, I think any bloke would be proud to be a fucking fish.
Have you seen a video of a fish coming?
How can I answer that without appearing like a perv?
But it's quite funny because they look rigid.
Connor,
Yeah,
I saw videos like that before you were born, mate.
They're rigid and like quivering at the same time. It's quite impressive.
That's like my fucking cock.
Exactly. I mean, it's not too dissimilar. They just.
Well, technically, strictly, we are fish anyway. I mean, with evolution, you evolve from a fish. You don't stop being a fish. You are still a fish. I mean, like, there's a book actually called "Your Inner Fish" about evolution. I'm not making this up. I swear.
No, I believe you. I believe you. It's just funny. There's a book called "Your Inner Fish."
Your inner fish.
Anytime I see someone telling me they're reading that self-help book, "You're in a Game," I'm gonna be like, you should be reading "You're in a Fish."
Your inner fish. Yeah.
And then whenever I think of fish, I just think of Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keeps.
Whenever you think of fish, you're now going to think of my vibrating cock. To be fair.
Your vibrating cock. Sarah's a lucky woman. I have to buy cocks that vibrate.
She is. After 18 years together, I've still get it up. That's quite a fucking feat, really.
Yeah, that is impressive. You haven't had to nip down to Poundland to get yourself a £1 dildo.
Oh, I didn't say that. A £1 dildo. Can you imagine?
If you see
but
me
speaking of that, I mean, low price. It came home to me just this morning. I got an email from somebody about the round table tonight, which was yesterday for anyone listening to this. And basically, what I have said was going to happen has started to happen. And I've called it the two-edged sword of Damocles hanging over every tradesman. Now, Damocles, for those who don't know, is probably an apocryphal character. But essentially, he went. The story is he went to a banquet and said how easy the king's life was. So the king tied up a sword above Damocles' head with a single horsehair. And if the horsehair broke at any time during the banquet, the sword would plunge down and kill it. Hence sword of Damocles, meaning that there's something hanging over you, over which you have no control. Well, for tradesmen, the two-edged sword of Damocles, and I call it two-edged for a reason, is because not all swords have two edges, by the way. A cutlass doesn't, I don't think. The two-edged sword of Damocles is there's the VAT-registered domestic tradesman and the non-VAT-registered domestic tradesman. Sounds quite esoteric, I know. But this is what I predicted this. This is what's really cool, right? I know nothing about the fucking trades. You would not want me trying to bang in a nail in your house, because I'd probably end up burning the house down or something like that somehow. I would fuck it up in some way because I am shit at DIY. But when this current shit started with COVID and the trades burgeoning in with the work and stuff, I knew this would happen because it's fucking obvious. It's, you know, paint by numbers. So work at the moment in the trades is dead easy to come by. It's all right. There's a lot of people joining the trades in the domestic side because they're leaving contractors on the commercial side where it's a bit tougher. They're going solo. They're making more money than they've ever made before. And they're also not charging VAT because they're not VAT registered. Great. So from a consumer's point of view, these guys can come in really fucking cheap, at least 20% cheaper than a VAT registered person, and probably do the same kind of job because they're skilled. I know a guy, right, a mate of mine, his brother is a carpenter. He's 18 years old, so he's probably barely qualified, but he knows how to hang a door. And he's just quoted someone, I think, 150 quid for hanging 3 doors. And they just said, yeah, you're half the price of anyone else. And these established firms, they have to charge VAT. They've got vans, lads, overhead, premises. They can't even come close to competing on price. So this 18-year-old lad is making 150 quid for the hour it will take him to hang 3 doors. That's more money than anyone his age would ever fucking conceive of. They were looking to make that in a week, fucking working at Next or something, you know? That they just wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable amount of money. But this guy, this young lad, cannot maintain that, because when it gets past the 85k, which you do very quickly at £150 an hour, once you get past the 85k threshold, you start having to charge VAT. I'll come back to this in a minute. So what's happening now then is we had a guy today talking to us, talking to me, saying he's struggling, even though there's loads of work out there, which you can get if you're prepared to lower your price to that of a non-VAT registered tradesman. But they can't afford to. Their margins are fucking thin enough as it is. I believe you were talking to someone today whose margin over the year was, what, 4%, and he struggled to get that?
Yeah, he had to fight for that. He's putting a lot of fucking work to get that.
He's worked up to 4%, and these guys are immediately 20% better off because they're not charging VAT. So you got established tradesmen with established businesses immediately directly trying to compete with guys who are skilled, and maybe some of them have even been in business the same length of time that have been working for subcontractors. But, you know, these guys are able to charge out much less. That's the first fucking edge of the sword. So you've got guys in a buyer's market where there's loads and loads and loads of work. Prices are going up, but they're still being fucking undercut. If that doesn't tell you there's a serious problem in your business, you can be undercut on price, and it's the problem. That in and of itself is a fucking huge problem, regardless of how much work there is and how much you can actually charge. If you can be undercut, that is a problem, regardless of how much you can charge. Think about this, people. Yeah, because the fact you can be undercut means you're not presenting something other than low price as something attractive to people to buy. That's a fucking big problem. That's a great big Jimmy Savile's hard on running through a nudie's fucking kindergarten problem, that is.
Yeah.
So that's the first edge of the sword. People in established businesses being undercut by 18-year-old lads on Facebook, basically. And more power to them. I got a problem with this. That's just fucking commerce. That's just the way the world works. If you're so fucking dumb you can't charge more, that's your problem.
It's what I said to you earlier. Sorry, let me just finish this. It's what I said to you earlier when we were speaking about it, when we heard this story. I said, you know, right, this 18-year-old lad's winning this work. And these companies are like, oh God, it's fucking difficult to win this work. But they're trying to sell in the same sort of way. You know, they are both trying to send quotes and whatnot over Facebook fucking Messenger. You know, they've both just gone in, see you need 3 doors, love. this is how much it's going to cost you. Let me know when you want me round. They've both gone like that. They've given them no reason to choose between the two. So of course they're going to go for the cheaper one. No, the established company should have taken control of the situation by saying, you know, before we quote, because that would be, you know, malpractice essentially. It'd be very silly to start quoting up front. You know, tell me about these doors. Where are they? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
engage the dialogue.
But
Get them on Facebook.
Go to a form, type form.
Yeah.
Tell this web page, tell me exactly what you need. I can't tell you how much it's going to be until I know what the job entails. I mean, this is no different. This is qualitatively no different from when I was a copywriter and people come to me and say, "Oh, how much for a sales letter?" I don't even know you need a sales letter. And if you want me to look at your situation and figure out an action plan, not a proposal, an action plan, that's going to cost you €3,500. I was getting €3,500 up front for an action plan, which was basically a quote, 14 years ago here in Ireland. That's a fact. I can prove. I've got the accounts. Well, if I could do that fucking 14 years ago in Ireland, you can do it in 2021 in the UK. You just can. When people come to you asking for a quote, you can say, unless it's a bog standard, yes, I can deliver you some firewood to your house as long as you meet these fucking stipulations of curb access for this much money. You know, any kind of job that requires a site visit or a thought, you should be charging for. If they won't pay, they're not a good client.
We've had
a serious client
this.
Because you're doing work up front, for fuck's sake. This is what people don't get. When you give someone a quote, so you go and scope the job out, pick a list of equipment and give it to them, you're giving them value. Because they can take that to fucking Fred blogs down the road or that my mate's brother on Facebook. I could go to him and say, this is what they've said. This is it. Look at that. What can you do it for? Well, that's value. Mm-hmm. Before he gave me that piece of paper with the fucking quote on with the material list, I didn't know what the fuck I needed or wanted. So why should you not charge for value? Fucking stupid, if you ask me. So that's the first side of the sword, is trying to fucking deal with all these low-priced people because you don't know how to sell yourself better. Now, this is not on the low prices. This is on you. Now, those guys are doing a great job. They're making good money. They're making a mistake, because they're going to come to in a moment. They're doing a great job. They're perfectly entitled to charge less. Now, there are people on Facebook who piss and moan about it. Sorry, LinkedIn. There are people who piss and moan on LinkedIn about people undercharging them. It's not that they're undercharging you. It's just that you can't outcharge them. That's the big fucking problem. It's like things aren't too expensive. It's that you can't fucking afford it kind of argument, you know? Mm-hmm. People undercutting you is your problem because you can't sell at a higher price. That's it. Simple. Now, the other side of the sword is this. The poor bastards who are doing this. So let's go back to my mate's brother. Here's what will happen if he's not careful. He's 18 right now, so it might take a couple of 3 years. He might not be motivated. But at some point, as he gets a bit older and a bit more established, he might start to think, I could make a real business of this. I've done my fucking drinking and shagging birds every weekend. I want to have a real business now. Let's treat this as a business. So take on a couple of lads of his own, maybe get a van or two, premises, start ramping up things. And all of a sudden he hits this fucking threshold. It probably happened before that, but he hits the VAT threshold. All of a sudden, his rates have to increase by 20% overnight. Instantly, he's hit that threshold. And if he doesn't increase them, if he's late, doesn't realise he's past that threshold, what will happen to him is what happened to me when I didn't realise it. You get a bill for back taxes for about 15K. Look at it, I had the money to pay without a problem. But that was like 3 years of I didn't charge VAT when I should have. Didn't realize I was earning so much money. That was on me, that was. But the point being, this young lad will suddenly have to increase his prices by 20% overnight, maybe sometimes pay back taxes depending on when he passes the threshold. I think they do it quarterly now. But his overheads will stay the same. So he's still got the van, he's still got the lads. But the worst thing is he's got no reliable mechanism, no reliable systems for sales and marketing because he's been reliant on selling on low price. All of a sudden, he's now competing on what seems to be a level playing field with the people he was undercutting before. And he can't do that. And at least they will probably have a better idea of how business works because they've had to have a better idea of how business works. So that's the two edges of the sword. Now, the second edge of the sword is these poor bastards who are making loads of money now, but they're they're storing up. I mean, they're storing up money in the bank, but they're also storing up trouble for themselves down the line.
Yeah.
I'm not an accountant, so I won't say it's advice, but my thinking is people should probably go VAT registered as early as they can. It makes sense in a lot of ways, because then at least you can get your VAT back on the things you buy.
Yeah.
And let's face it, 85k as a tradesman turnover ain't fucking much, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. That for some of the industries can be literally 4 jobs.
Yeah.
It's not much money at all. For some builders, it's 1 job.
Yeah. So it's, you know, but this is what's happening now. Say it's going to happen. It's happening now. I predicted it. So it's, you know, I'm not just a fucking genius. I'm a fucking genius.
It's a true double-edged sword, because when they hit that threshold, they've lost their only competitive advantage.
Yeah, and it seems like a great competitive advantage, but it isn't. It's a shitty one. It's the lowest fucking common denominator. It's the obvious one. Now, again, blowing our own horn here, it doesn't matter which side of that fucking sword you're going to get cut by. Whether you're the young lad, the 18-year-old boy who's just realised that he can make more money than ever before, or whether you're the established business being undercut by that very same young lad. Whichever side of that sword you are, we can help you. We can fix it. Well, we can help you fix it, because we don't do it for you. That's a different ballgame altogether. You certainly can't afford that. But we can help you fix it very quickly. I mean, some things we can fix within a week, because it works that quickly. Some things take a bit longer, but we can help you fix that without fucking question. And we can certainly do it within 30 days. Yet people still don't fucking take us up on our offers, which is fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Crazy.
The smart ones that do take action, they get the best results, and they'll get a lot of value out of the fucking round table tonight, which is going to be fucking excellent.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guys who work with us, I suppose they get okay results. You know, that they sell bathrooms for 7k, which they were selling at 4k before. So their profits have more than quadrupled. I suppose that's okay for no extra work. You know,
we've got.
I don't know why you want to go home kind of late Tuesday morning or mid Tuesday morning as opposed to work fucking Monday to Friday. But hey, if that's what people want to do, you know.
Well, there was another client we had who was working for free for 2 hours, pretty much putting together action plans, but for him they were quotes for every job. I believe he was a project manager. I believe there was also a QS doing something similar. And as soon as we found out, we said, you don't do that for free anymore. You put a little sales process in place that is for free before you do that work for free. But you hold this free 15-minute consultation. You say, right, yeah, I can do this. It's going to cost you X. You're going to get XXX. And all of a sudden, he was getting paid $1,000 up front. And because he was getting paid the $1,000 up front, his conversion rate was far higher on the back end, because he was just rolling that £1,000 in with the project management QS fees. They both were. They were both fucking laughing. Not only are they making more money, not only were they working with better quality clients, they saved themselves about 15 hours a week.
What's not to love? What's not to love?
Baffling.
But people are fucking stupid. I mean, they really are. They do this shit for free, and they don't. There seems to be this idea that you have to. Well, you don't. You know, any time you're giving value, and let's face it, doing a quote is giving value. You should be charging for it. If you're not, that's on you. Yeah. And if people won't pay, if householders, we're talking domestic now, particularly, where it's easier for sure. It's not impossible on the commercial side. It's harder. It's not impossible. But if you're dealing with the householders, and they say, "I'm not paying up front. I'm not paying for that kitchen design. I'm not paying for this," so you just okay, fine. Go down the road, that bloke will do it. Do you remember about a week or 2 ago, we had that guy, I'm not going to say who he was, but we had that guy in our group, and the client said to him, I like your quote, but can you do it for less? Because this guy down the road can do it for cheaper, but you've got great reviews, we want your shit. That is the classic example of I want your fucking quality and service at their price. No, fuck off. keep fucking off, fuck off as far away as you possibly can, fuck off, and stay fucked off for as long as it takes for you to be fucked off completely.
Yeah.
You know? Because you want my quality of service, you pay my price. You want his quality of service, you pay his price. You do not pay his price for my quality of fucking service.
Yeah.
No? It's not
That's
fucking
simple.
rocket science, is it?
No, it's not.
This is
It
not,
really
as they say in France, this is not science diffusée.
Does that mean rocket science?
Yes.
Do you know how we say it in England?
Rocket science.
Yeah.
Next question.
I love doing that. Whenever someone talks to me in another language, I always say, oh, well, do you know what that means in English? And you'd be surprised the amount of people that go, what is it? And I just repeat it straight back.
Yeah, well, that's because you deal with stupid people. I'm not one of them.
No, I know, but it was funny that you picked up on it and then we still both chuckled anyway. It's so funny though. With the boozers opening in 4 days, actually, anyone listening, if some silly prick says, oh, I've been learning another language over lockdown and all they want to do is talk to you about it, just keep saying that back at them. They'll soon stop telling you how great learning Korean is. And on that note, I think we're pretty much done.
In which case, if you want to make more money with less work, less hassle, and fewer headaches, attract better clients, sell at higher fees, have these people delivered to you, hands off and in the background with a nice turgid and moist pipeline filled with decent price buyers. So you don't have to fucking prostitute yourself like a shitty no-vat person on price. Right? Competing on price is stupid. Don't want to do any of that. What you need to do is go to ottpodcast.co.uk, avail yourself of our free courses, free resources, yada, yada, yada. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay inside, wash your hands. Please do not give discounts, ever. Give more value rather than cut on price. And do not shit on your fingers. So, see you later. Ta-ra.